Hey, hello all. So, is my voice is audible for all? Hey, hello all. Yeah. Okay. So we just wait for one more minute to for the other students to get joined, and after that we start our session. Okay, this is going to be our last last session in creating a JavaScript project. 5 days, 5 projects we are creating. We have done with 4 projects right now. This is going to be our final project. Okay, so and also I just want to give some of the announcement and all the things at the back at the end of the meet. Okay, so I will give a 5 minutes after that, and you can use that time to do. And if you have any doubts regarding the previous classes and anything, some you want to you have personal doubts and all, you can just ask now. I just wait for one more minute and we can start our session. Okay, so today we're going to see about and project. The project name is just, it's actually a simple project. Hello Ahmed, how are you? So it is, today we're going to create an theme clock only. Okay, so it's going to be an simple project and we can create it very soon. Mostly we're going to work with the date objects. Okay, so date objects like how to get the current date, current hour, current minute, current second, and current day, and all these all are the things we're going to see today. And based on that we're going to create a good user looking a clock website. That is what we're going to see today, and that is also done very simply. Okay, so because most of this designing patterns and the front end part is covered by HTML and CSS. Okay, so likewise we are not covering HTML and CSS. Okay, so for HTML and CSS we have a separate series of workshop is there, and you can attend that. Okay, so we're going to see about how to use the data object and how can we use the data object and how can we build and theme clock, like, and a good looking theme clock, how can we create that. That is what we're going to see now. And as I mentioned before that, you can get certificate for this classes too, for getting certificate for this project workshop. Okay, so because just think about that, just doing code in the online, if and like I am facing some of the errors and I'm debugging lively, and every time I'm using the console.log, right? Because I want to, like, I want to show you that how exactly we program, right? So how exactly, if I take some project, how exactly I do. Okay, so this is how actually I work with JavaScript and all. Every time I use console.log to debug and to check whether what's happening in the projects and all. Okay, so that is one of the major things that everyone want to understand, because some of them gets panics when they get an error. They feel like I'm not a good developer, like that. But actual truth is not. Even the pro developer or use the Stack Overflow, googling and everything. Okay, so that is also happens. That is programming. Okay, so every time you are facing error, and just remind that you are going to learn something. Okay, so that error is going to teach something. When you are learning, when you are making mistake, then only you can able to learn from the mistake. Okay, so coding, programming, everything happens like that. So if you get lots of mistake, don't get worry. Just think like, I'm going to learn more, so these errors is going to teach me more. Okay, so that is the mindset and mentality that you need to face. Okay, so once the error will come, what happened, we can debug it, and that is stored in our mind, right? So whenever the same error again comes, means what we can do, we can, our subconscious mind is consciously share to us like, this is the error we are already go through, just go and check this line and check this word and all. Okay, so that is why I get personally interest towards JavaScript. I get so much of errors when I'm starting to code, and after that I just working with the debugging things. Okay, so Soumya, hi, good evening, good evening, good evening all, good evening all. Okay, so debugging things, and after that what I did, um from that mistake only we can able to learn, okay, why the mistake is coming. Okay, so what is the problem in that code, why it is not work like this, why it is not work like for example, if you use like something input value you are fetching, you use dot value method, and if you use that, if you want to empty that, you cannot use the variable, right? So that in the last class we have discussed, right? I think in the movie app we have discussed it. If I do something that will, so everything, the like small things, everything that comes because of the coding experience we are have, and doing projects is much more better because we want to understand that how this code is working in the real world projects. That, so that is how everything should going to be learned. Okay, so if you are watching the tutorial, if you don't practice and all, that is a waste of time actually from my side. Okay, so if you want to be a good JavaScript programmer, if you want to be a good developer, and I say go and do some mini projects, try to do some mini projects, and that mini projects is going to help you in the future, and you can use that mini project in your own portfolio website for your client, for your services and all, and you can show them, right? So that is going to be an amazing one. Okay, even a single feature in a website that attracts the client. Okay, so that single feature is very important, so focus on that JavaScript part. Okay, so that is why we are going through some of the mini projects and we are working with all. Right now what we're going to see, and it's time's up, what we're going to see means we're just going to create a theme clock. Okay, so I just share my screen. Right right So what is the project we're going to see today? This is our project. Here you can see that our right now the current timing is running like an clockwise one, right? So it is running in a clockwise manner, and I recreated the clock, right? So this is something like digital clock where if you want to use it, your desktop and all, you can use it. Okay, so now what we're going to see, what is the logic we going to build in this clock. So okay, so the logic is, first one, you can see like a dark mode button is there, right? So this is first logic, like we going to create a light mode and dark mode like this. You can see it is very beautiful, right? So this is the first logic we going to work with. If I click it, whether it is already in dark mode, it need to give the light mode. Whether it is already in light mode, it need to give the dark mode. Okay, so this is the project we going to discuss now. And the second thing is, here you can see these everything is an element. Okay, so it is changing according to the times. Okay, it is changing, it is running like a clock, right? So it is changing according to the time. You can consider this red is considered as a seconds, and this bigger one is considered as minute, and the smaller one is considered as the horse. Okay, so it is changing according to the current browser timing. Okay, so we're going to code for that. And next one is like it's showing a digital clock also, right? So it is showing a digital clock also, and we're going to build that, and it is also showing like what the session is, like for example AM PM, like that. It is showing the session also, and we're going to work on that too. And after that, here you can notice that it produce which day, it produce the current day itself. Okay, and you can see July is there and month is there, it producing the date, it producing the month, and it producing the day. Okay, date is what is meant by date. Date is the actual date, like Monday, Sunday, like 7 days, right? Day day is something like numbers, like which day, like 29, 30, like that. Okay, so that is going to display, and you can see like how this fucks. These are all the logic we're going to work. First, we're going to work with the toggle feature, and we're going to work with the clock user interface, and we're going to work with this digital representation, and we're going to work with this Friday month, like some calendar like that. Okay, so these are all the work we're going to see. Okay, so these are all the basic JavaScript work. And before getting into that, so how it is working, how it is working means it is working based on the browser's computers set default date and time. For example, here you can notice my computer, I have set today as July 29, 2022. Okay, if I go to my computer, like for example, I just going to say date and time setting. I go for my date and time setting, and I change the date to manually. Okay, set the date to manually. What I going to do, instead of 2022, I just going to say 2025, and I just give the change. Okay, so now what happened, In my computer, the year is going to set as 2025. If I minimize this, uh, here we don't have any year, right? So we go for date. Okay, so I just going to change the date of the person. Like for example, this is going to be 22 only, no problem. If I change the date, for example, July is there, right? So now I change this to October 29 instead of July 29. I just going to change it to the October 29 and click the change. Now the month it is showing here is 10 in my computer. I changed my date, and here you can notice, if I just, okay, this is not going to work. But how Hello. Hello. Now it is audible for all.
Hello?
Yeah. Sorry for this tech issue. Okay. So that has happened. Okay. Okay. So no problem. I already said that this clock is very simple project. We can do that. Okay. So this is all of the logic we need to go with. One is toggle, and another one is that like we need to give an logic for this horse, time, and minutes, and we need to show this and we need to display this. Okay. So this is what we're going to work. Okay. Okay. Let's we go and as just a minute. So I just created the HTML CSS part earlier. Okay. So yeah, it's not. Yeah. Okay. So we can go and work with that. Some issue with this streaming platform, that is why it's taking time. Okay. So I just created, I think my code is visible to all, right? So I just created a basic HTML and CSS for this. Okay. So if you're not that much good in, like for example, I just work with some of the CSS that you can see, like some of the little bit advanced concept like animation, transform, scale, for rotation, degree, and all. That is all I just work with. And in JavaScript also we're going to work with that. And if you want to see the code clearly, you just use some high resolution like 480 pixel like that. Okay, so then will be the code would show you clearly. Okay, so here you can see this is the entire div that is containing everything. Okay, so this is the button, toggle button, that is we're going to write a logic for this only. And this div, it is containing that everything. And here you can see this is the actually the clock. For example, if I just open with the live server, okay, now right now you can see like this, right? So right now you can see like this. So only the button is there, and only one single red color is there. But actually what all are inside means there are three needles is inside. One is for hour, and one is for minute, and one is for second. Okay, so everything in the same line. Okay, so I need to rotate it according to the time, according to the our actual time. Okay, so our actual time, that is what we're going to do. Okay. Okay, so and here you can see, and another time and date is that. So this is responsible for this. For example, we have like 12:30, like something like PM, and here we can give date for Monday, something like this. It's going to be display here. Okay, so that is what we're going to give. So right now it is going to be empty because I want to write actual timing and current methods and all. Okay, so bear with me, I will complete with all of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I just go and work with the styles, and this CSS part is taking care of all the styling. Like for example, this divs, right? So this is just a div, and by using the CSS only, I just code like this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so right now we're going to work with this. So first logic is we need to work with the dark themes, right? So the first logic is we need to work with this dark theme. So that is what we're going to do. So for that, I just going to fetch all the elements that are essentially we need. Okay, so I just go for the script.js file and make sure that you are linking the script.js file correctly. So I just take like console.log clock. Okay, so checking whether my code is written correctly or not, like this. Okay, if I go for my console, and you can see clock is work, right? So which means the code or file is successfully added. Okay, so the next thing is what I'm going to do, I just going to fetch all the elements which are necessary. So first I need this toggle and the time, hour, and all. So I just going to fetch everything. I just going to say const for hour element. So this is for hour element, and I just say document dot query selector all. You can go with all and or one, because only one element is there, so you can go with query selector itself. Okay, so css, we did the css, and here you can see this is our har, right? So this is the element for har. I just want to fetch this. I just copy and paste it. Okay, the same thing is going to happen for some other thing. So I just going to paste like this. So instead of har, what we can say, I just going to add this as minute element, and instead of minute I just going to say second element. Okay, like this. And here we just going to copy this thing like minute. Okay, so this is going for minute, and for like second, yeah, second is going to be that. Okay, so minute and second is everything is added. The next thing is what we need to display the time and date of that. So I just going to fetch the time and date of the element too. So I just going to say time element, date element. Okay, so I just say const time, time element. For time, for showing the time, I just going to say document dot query selector. Okay, so here I just going to paste this as time. Okay, so if it's the time element, that is going to show the timing here. Okay, so and next is like const date. It is going to show the date element. Okay, so date el, and I just going to say document dot query selector, and here I just going to say dot date. Okay, so I think we fetch dot date. Fine. Okay, so all the element we are fetched, and final thing is this toggle. So I just going to fetch this toggle and all. Okay, so for that what we can do, we can go and fetch the toggle element like const like I just going to name this button as toggle. Okay, so whatever name you want you can give. So this is going to be toggle working, so that is why I say toggle. Okay, whatever the name you want to give, you can give like button, anything, like whatever you want. Like I just going to say query selector, and what is the element name? Like what is the element name? The element name is toggle, right? So I just going to fetch and say toggle. Okay, so that's it. And what is the first event we are showing? Like if I click this, this has to be changed to the dark event and light event. Okay, so that for that we can go and add the event listener for this button. Okay, so click event listener. So I just say toggle dot add event listener is the method that is going to be add the event for us. And first parameter is for adding the event, that is going to be click event. And I just going to mention an arrow function that is going to be responsible for this. Okay, so like this. So inside this we going to return the code to execute. So how can we check? For example, I say console, if someone clicks this console.log show button is clicked, like this. Okay, so I just go for my inspect, and I just go and console. Right now nothing is there in the console. You can see that nothing is there. If I click this, nothing is happening. Why it is not happening? It is not happening. Console.log button is clicked, right? So toggle query selector. Okay, this is in the dark mode, right? Someone click this function, someone click this target function. Okay, just a minute, just open our HTML, just get a comment. Okay, open with server. Okay, okay, so live servers loaded anything. Why it is not working? Like for example, I just go and add, instead of that I just go and add a function, and I just say like if someone click this toggle and console.log toggle is clicked. Okay, so just a minute, we just check like console.log console.log, we're going to say toggle. Okay, so this is going to be show for us, and if I refresh this, it is going to say button toggle is fetched. Okay, so if the button toggle is clicked and something has to happen, add event listener, this is going to be happen for us. Okay, so we will do that. Okay, so button is fetched successfully. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to add an event here. Okay, so this is responsible for the event. And now what I just going to say, I just going to fetch some of the element. I just say const html equal to I going to fetch the entire html. Okay, so for that what I say, document dot query selector, query selector, and I just going to mention this as html. Okay, so now the entire root object is fetched and it is stored in the html. And now I just going to work with some of the condition. I'm saying like, if inside the html, inside this html, a class list that contains dark, a class is contain dark, then what you need to do, you need to remove that. Okay, so how can we remove that? html dot class list dot remove, we can say like dark. Okay, so the dark is responsible for, it is a class. Okay, so if you go and see in my css, you can see that class is the dark class. Here you can see the color is it is date, right? Sorry, dot dark. I just to point out for the clock, toggle, focus, toggle. Here you can see a dark color is, a dark pattern is added. So in the html, the dark pattern is added, it should be go and show like this. Okay, so if it is added, what I say, you just want to remove that. Okay, if it is already that, you need to remove that, and you need to give an inner html for that. And which one? E dot target. So what is mean by E dot target? This, where this event is happening, this event is happening in this button, right? So this is the target element. Okay, this is going to be the target element. I just going to say E dot target dot inner html equals to dark mode. Okay, if the dark mode like this. Okay, so what I am saying means, I am checking a condition like, if the dark mode is existed, which means the dark class dark is existed, means then what you need to do, you need to remove this, and you need to show that here you need to show like this dark mode. By default it is not that. Okay, so right now the same for light mode. So what I just going to say, html dot, what is meant by else, it is does not contains a dark mode, instead it is containing something something else. Okay, so what I going to do, instead of removing this, here I just going to add this class list dot add, and here I just going to say dark. Okay, so this class is going to be added, and after adding this, if I add this class list, then what would happen, if I click this, this is going to be changed for the dark mode. And what the next thing what I going to do, I just going to say what the next thing I just going to say, I just going to say like something like E dot target, and inside this you need to say inner html, it's going to say for light mode, something like this. Okay, so there is a problem is happening, let's check and we will debug that. Okay, so what is this responsible for, if the dark mode is activated and this button represent the light mode to switch, if the light mode is activated, the button represent the dark mode to switch. So that is what happening, right? It is working perfect. So then why it is not show the console, that time, I just what going to say, go, why the browser behave like this, open my console, and here what I'm going to do, and I just remove this, and we will check this console.log button click. Okay, boot, and it's button click. Okay, something like this. Okay, I just click this button, Okay, it is not working. So I think some problem with my browser. Just a minute. Okay, I just go for my index dot open with live server. Or rather a problem with the live server. Yeah, it's working perfectly. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so it will be working perfect. So what I did, what is the logic I did? So if someone clicks this button, you need to fetch that entire html, the entire document, the entire html document, and you need to add a class list for this. You need to check whether the in that html a class list, a class dark is added or not. Okay, by default you can see in the html there is no dark is added. By default it is there is no dark is added. But if I go for the element section, and here you can see in the html the dark mode is added now. It's not also opening. I think my browser is doing some crazy things for me. I don't know why. So in this you can see a class dark is added, right? So this is what I did. If the class list is already there, you need to remove the class and you need to say click dark mode. If the class list is not there, then you need to add the dark and you need to light mode it. For example, here you can see the dark is there. So if I click this, and you can see that e.target it is not showing the light mode, right? So it is only showing the dark mode. Okay, why? Just a minute. Why? So inspect this. Okay, so the class is added and this is also fetched successfully, right? So but only thing, e dot target dot inner, just going to say e dot target dot inner html, right? Should be like this. If I click this, hmm, it's a simple process, but my browser is showing why it's access me light. It's work fine. Okay, so I don't know why my browser is doing like this. Okay, so we just added a query selector. Okay, fine. Okay, so the first toggle is fine. So the second thing is we need to work for this clock. Okay, so how can we work for this clock? We can work for our clock by using, so you can get it by very simple. I think some browser is doing some weird things for me. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, so even the simple control.log is not working for me. I'm trying 3 times clicking that, it is not working for me. Okay, let me check after that. And I just say function, and I just going to working for this. Okay, so I just going to say set time. Okay, so this is going to be the set time function, and here this I just say const time. So for fetching time, for you want to fetch the current time, what you need to use, you need to use a method called new date. So the new date is a method, it returns our current time. Okay, so let's check whether our console is working or not. Okay, I don't want, we just go for that. For example, if I copy this and paste it in the outside, and I just going to say console.log this time. Okay, so display it for me. Browser browser. Okay, it is returning the current time of us, right? Okay, so this is going to return the current time of us. So the new date is going to return the current time of the browser. Okay, so that is what it do. Okay, so I think it is happens because of this. Okay, so this is what it do. Now we have the current time, date, and year, second, millisecond, hours, everything is there right now. How you see in the console, that is like, okay. So for you need to fetch the month separately. Okay, what you can do, I just going to say month equal to time dot. So the time contains all the information of the, like it contains the date, month, hours, minutes, second, milliseconds, which day, everything. It contains everything. Okay, so if you want that, you need to use the get month method. So this is going to return the month, current month of our client browser is using. Okay, so and what is the next thing we need? We need the day, which day I'm using, right? Monday or Tuesday, like that. So for that, I just say time dot get day method is there, right? Like this. You can use this get day method to fetch the current day. And I just going to say const date is there. So this date method is going to say time dot get date method. So it is returns the current date. For example, 29. It is going to return the 29. And next, what I just want, I need the hour. So for that hour, what we need, time dot hour method. Okay, so this is a method that is going to be return the hour. So it is not simply hour, it is going to be get hour method. Okay, so hours. Okay, so this is the get hours method. And next, what we need, we get the month, date, day, time, and hour. Everything is fixed. And I want to, and this is, you can see it shows the time in the 24 version. For example, I just go and show it, and I just say console.log time, something like this. And I just go and click inspect, go for my console, please open. Okay, you can see it will return the date in 24, which means like 24, like total day format. It doesn't show, like for example, right now the time is 9, right? It is showing 21. So why it is show like this? Because it has 22, like 24 hours date format. Like I think it is railway time, I think they say like this. Okay, so it doesn't have 12 hours date format. Okay, after 12 we consider 1 2 3, right? So instead of this, the browser will go for like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it is right now it's 9, 13, 8 second. That is why it said 21. Okay, like that. So for that, what I going to do, I just want to get the modulus after when it reaches the 12. After 12, I need to count that for 1 2 3 4, like that. So what I going to do, I just going to modulus it by 12. So how can I do that? For example, const, because I want a 12 hours date format. Okay, so I just going to say horse get clock, because the clock works for the 12 hours only. So I just going to say time dot get, not time dot get hours. So what is the hour we are fetching? The hour we are fetching, it is stored in the hour, and that is divided, not divided by, modulus by, that is modulus by 12. Okay, so for example, right now it's showing 21, right? So 21 divided by 12, which means it has only one time. So what is the remaining time? The remaining time is like 12 minus 21, like 9, right? So remaining time is 9. So right now we are in 9 o'clock. So that is what, that is the basic logic behind this. Okay, so next I just going to say for the minute, const minute equal to, I just going to say time dot get minute method. So the get minute method, minutes method is going to get the minutes of the time. So the next I just going to say const second equal to time dot get seconds method. It is going to return the seconds of the method. Okay, so right now we have fetched every we have every data and all, and we're going to work with that. Okay, so for working with that, I just going to add some transition, I just going to add some animation and all. Okay, so before that, what I going to do, I just go and work with some animations. Okay, so I just going to say, what is this? This is the hover element, right? So this is the hover element. First, what I going to do, I just go and set for the minute element and second element, and then go for the hover element. So I just go and say minute. Okay, so element dot inner, I just not dot inner, I just going to say style dot. So mm, style minute element style dot, and I just going to say like transform. Okay, so this is some of the animation formats that is I just going to use. And if you're not familiar with CSS, no problem. What I going to do, I going to rotate this. Okay, so actually I just going to rotate this. Okay, so in a 360-degree format, and I going to point out in that current time. Okay, so that is what I just going to set. Okay, so for that I use the backticks. Okay, so for transform I just going to use the translate. So that is translate method is going to rotate it. Okay, translate, there is a method called translate, and I just going to say like x-axis and y-axis. This is a CSS properties values. Okay, so that is what I'm setting. Okay, you can use your own properties and all. So 50-degree, and I just going to say for x-axis is going to be x and y, and I just going to set it for 50 to 180 degrees. Okay, so then what I just going to do, it is going to translate it. It is going to show like this. If I save this, wait a minute, and you can see that changes. Okay, so for that what I just going to after that I just going to say which direction I want to rotate. Okay, so for rotate, what I going to do, I just going to use the template literal. Okay, because the template based on the minute I am fetched what current minute that is need to rotate. Okay, so that is what I just going to say. And inside this what I going to say, scale. So this is also one of the method. Okay, one of the method that is used to change that. And I just say minute, and what is the minute I'm fetching here, that is that is the value that is going to be rotate. Okay, so and after that I just going to add it is like minute. Okay, so this is in minimum. Okay, so and what is the maximum value, the maximum value I going to say set is 0. Okay, so and I want to set them out value. So for that out value I just going to set like 60-degree, and I just want to set 0. Okay, so this is the min value, max value for in, and this is the min value and max value for the out. Okay, so after that what I just want to set, I want to set the degree, right? So I want to set the degree, I just go say 360-degree it need to rotate. Okay, after that I need to give here, after here I just want to say the degree and all. Okay, and if I save minutes dot transform, and we have set everything, right? So we have done everything like this. We say transform, not transform. I think that is why. Okay, transform. Let me check this, and what is the error we are making. Okay, so once it is go for the browser. Okay, that shows nothing error. Okay, just copy this, paste it, and minute dot style dot, and we set the transform style property. And what we need to do, we need to translate it. Okay, translate. Okay, fine. And I want to do it for 50-degree and 180-degree, and I want to rotate it. Okay, so rotate it. After that I what I going to do, I just going to do the scaling functions. And in that scaling function, first I want to share the minute, and second I want to say the thing and everything. Okay, fine. And what I want to do, I want to call the function to run it. Okay, now I just call the function. It is not working. Like like set times the function that is fetching everything, and we have set the degree, and we have set the degree and all. Okay, so let me go and check for this element CSS. Okay, and we can debug it whether it is come from the browser or if it is come from some. Okay, it is actually the second some degree is fetched, the minute degree, and you can see no, nothing is written, right? Nothing, it is not overwritten. Rotate is for 0-degree like this only, it is not overwritten. Our code is not working. Like I just want to say like transform equal to, what is the error? So the error is like set timeout, it is showing some error like where we are doing some translate. error is showing here. %. What is the error? Let me check the code and we will do this. Hmm. Okay. Just a minute. I think we made some spelling mistakes. That is what I do maximum. Okay. So I'm just going to say translate, right? It is fine. And scale, rotate, scale. That is fine. That is also fine. This is working. Okay, it is fine working. Okay. So just a minute, we set for all the thing and we can discuss that how what is the error we are facing. Okay, so I just going to set this for hour and I just want to set this for minute. So I just going to set it for hour element. Okay, so and I just going to set this for like minute second element. Okay, so here you need to transform with the second, and here you need to transform with second, and here you need to work with the transform with for hour for. Okay, so this is what, and I think some spellings we are missing out and that is why it's not working. Okay, so I just going to say translate minus 50%. Okay, so I just going to say translate, it is going to be minus 50% and minus 100%, that is perfect. And we need to say the rotate function, rotate, it is fine. And we need to use the dollar sign, and I say scale, and I just going to say minute. Yeah, of course, 0, 60, 60 degree and 60 degree and 0 degree and 360 degree. Yes, everything will be fine. And what is the error? What is the error happening here? Hmm. If I add like minute dot el dot style dot I just say like for the inspect. Okay, it's showing error in here only. Okay, I think some error happening in this spot only. Okay, okay, what is the error? Translate is added successfully. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. I just refresh my browser and I will do that. Okay. So where is okay. And we can hours, 8 o'clock. Just bear with me for one more second. That is going to be finished. I think why it's not working. I will check. I will check it down. Okay. JavaScript. Time. So, sir. Yeah. Okay. Replay, sir. Hi. So actually, there is a problem. Tech use is happening with my computer. Tech use is going through it. I'm not able to share the code, and even if I share the code, that code is also not working. Okay, so there is a tech failure happens. Sorry for your inconvenience, and sorry for the wasting time. Okay, so what I did, if you're in WhatsApp group or anything, I will share entire code. Okay, I will share my entire code, and you can just copy and paste to your computer, and you can see that code, and you can able to see the output of my work. Okay, so the only problem, some tech issues happens, that is why I'm not able to show you today. Okay, so all other days are perfectly working, so now only the last day it is not showing perfectly. Sorry for your inconvenience. Okay, so but everything working perfectly, and everything is working fine only, but I don't know why even my browser console is not showing in the live stream. I want to click 5 to 6 times, then only it's showing. That is the error. And some of them messaged me so many times, what I want to reply, like I don't know what is what I want to reply like that. So button, click your spellings or wrong button. Yeah, I checked everything there itself too, but it is not working correctly. Like everything is even I put my original code also and copy it, and I try to share that, it is still showing error. And it's not showing error because of the code issue. The code is very fine because I checked it even before the stream. The only issue is I am not able to share with you, and the streaming is doing some difficulties in the consoles itself. Okay, so that is the error happened. So sorry for your misconvenience. Okay, so try to, so the same, like try to complete at least 2 projects, and I will surely share this section, or otherwise after the 5 days JavaScript came, I will start from here itself. Okay, I will do this unlock work again too. Okay, so and there is no problem in the code. Okay, sorry for that. Sorry for that. Sorry for the misconvenience. Even when the StreamYard is also not working, it's showing your browsers. Okay, okay, so that's all for today. That we are not able to cover everything, but we see about how to toggle, right? So that is very basic functionality, and you just work with I create a toggle button. Okay, consider your 5th project as a create a toggle button, and I cover it in the next series also. Starting from how to create an unlock all, I will cover it, and I will go through the issues and all, and I will clarify it. Okay, so and I already said that, and you want to get a certificate, you need to work for the streams and all. Okay, so you need to give a 2 projects, and you need to submit the form. That's it for us, and we can be able to continue that. Okay, so I will catch you up in the tomorrow's. We're going to have an boot camp for 3 hours. Whether you are not know about HTML and CSS basic level, then you can come there, and we can teach you the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And today, sorry for the, it's going to be one of the remarkable day for me. Why I need to work with that issues happening in my computers. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so tomorrow let's see you in the boot camp. Okay, so our founder is going to take the boot camps and all, and we will continue there. Okay, so bye, see you there.